So today, guys, welcome. We are going to be cooking whiting. I've got butter all in the skillet and it's all hot. And we're just going to lay our whiting in the hot skillet and get it cooking. Because we want to get this going right away. So we are going to have whiting and we are going to have roasted cauliflower to go with it. So I'm going to sprinkle just a little pepper. And I've already salted our fish. So we're just going to sprinkle a little pepper. And we are going to have this with a white wine sauce. This is going to be delicious. A really healthy, hearty meal. Do me a favor, smash that subscribe button while we're cooking our fish. We're just going to let it cook up in this butter. All right, we're gonna start off by adding a cup and a half of white wine. And you want a dry white wine. And this is a Sauvignon Blanc. So we're going to let this reduce. To our wine, we are going to add 1 shallot and 1 clove of garlic that has been minced and diced. We are also going to add some red pepper flakes. So add your pepper flakes to your taste to whether or not you want it hot. And we are going to add the juice of half a lemon. And we are just going to let this boil and reduce our wine down. Okay, now that our white wine, our white wine has reduced, we're going to add a cup of heavy cream. And we're just going to whisk that all in together. And we're going to let this cook down. Let's get this all whisked in. So we have to whisk it and be careful because these sauces will break apart on you. And we don't want that to happen. All right, now that this has started to reduce, I am just going to add a little Parmesan cheese. Now I am going to add 2 tablespoons of cold butter. So I've had my butter soaking, well, not soaking, but resting in ice so that it stays chilled. And we are just going to reduce the heat. We're going to let this butter melt and incorporate it into our sauce. Because it's going to give our sauce a really velvety texture. It's going to be. While our sauce simmers, let's move on to our roasted cauliflower. Let's get started with our cauliflower. We're going to just go down the side, inside the core of the cauliflower. And we should just be able to start to pull those off. And I don't know if you can see the nice florets of the cauliflower. We've got our cauliflower all broken up. So what we're going to do is we're going to roast our cauliflower. And we kind of want it in nice, even pieces. Okay, so we're going to dice our tomatoes. Well, I guess we're not going to dice them. We're going to halve them. We're just going to cut them in half. I usually like to try to have firm tomatoes when I do this. So we're just going to cut them in half because we're going to roast them along with the cauliflower. And when they're nice and firm, they won't get mushy. I mean, it's okay if they get mushy, if you like mushy tomatoes, but I kind of like for them to stay kind of firm. See, that's a nice firm one. All right, let's get our shallot cut up. And I'm using a shallot instead of an onion because the flavor in the shallot is not as strong as an onion. Sometimes I use a red onion, but red onions, the flavor in a red onion can be really powerful. So I don't always like to use the red onion or even a yellow onion. But my favorite onion is the Vidalia sweet onion. I absolutely love that. So we're going to get this all chopped up. Get ready to move on to our making the sauce that we are going to use with our cauliflower. And that's really quick and simple. And as you can see, I am not the greatest with the knife, but I can do it without cutting myself. So we're just going to get this nice and chopped up. And then we're going to do a clove of garlic. So that was a shallot. And I've got 2 cloves of garlic here that I am going to, So that's typical. You guys know I usually make a mess. And once again, I kind of made a mess. As much as I like garlic, I don't want to come down on a chunk of garlic. So let's get this minced as fine as we can. I'm going to also add a little extra virgin olive oil to the mix. Pour that in there. And we're going to make our cauliflower a little spicy. So we're going to put some Creole seasoning in here. And this is, it's about 2 teaspoons and a half. And I'm going to put a little ground paprika. And I'm going to mix this oil and these spices together. And now I'm going to dump in my shallots and my garlic. Just gonna dump those into the bowl. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add our cauliflower. Now that we've got our cauliflower in, let's add our tomatoes. And we're just going to mix this up. And we want to try to coat all of our tomatoes and cauliflowers in the seasonings and the oil. So we want to get everything coated. Let's get this nice and coated. Now that everything is coated, we are going to dump these into our pan. And I've covered my pan with parchment paper. We're just going to dump this all in to our pan. And then we're going to spread it out in an even layer. So now as we spread this out into an even layer, so if we want our veggies to be nice and browned and roasted, we're going to spread them out a little further apart. These ready? Okay, so this is all ready to go in the oven. And we're going to pop this into a 400-degree oven for about 45 minutes. And here's our Lake Superior whiting with a white wine sauce, our roasted tomatoes and cauliflower. It looks wonderful. Here was an easy meal that was healthy and very light. Remember, cook with the ones you love and love the ones you cook with.